Good evening, everyone. Petrie Studios back again for another video. Sorry that this videos took so long to be made. Just been busy this last few months, just with work. Made a trip to Utah and just, a lot of other stuff going on. However, I finally got around to making this video, and today I'm going to show you my 5 different versions of Toy Story. On the left, I got the 96 VHS. In the middle, I got the 2000 Special Edition Gold Classic Edition that VHS, and then I got the 2005 10th Anniversary DVD. I also got the 2010 DVD Edition, and I also got the 2010 Blu-ray combo pack. Now, as I have mentioned before, Toy Story is one of my all-time favorite movies. I've loved it as a kid. I grew up on it. Still one of my all-time favorite movies. And pretty much I've got to see it in theaters. Well, when it was re-released around COVID. And I always wanted to see it in 3D, but it never happened because we didn't have a 3D theater here in Elko at the time. But it's still one of the best movies. It was the first computer animated motion picture to be made. It was also the first Pixar movie. And it was a breakthrough because without this movie, none of the CGI movies we have today would have ever been made. And it's just a landmark feature. And it's just a great movie overall. And I'm going to get into this video. First, we're going to look at the 96 VHS. This was released around Halloween of 96. But around the time, Pixar wasn't really an animation studio, so Disney put that up there. And Pixar got down at the very bottom. Yeah, just for them to throw shade and stuff, but it's a pretty good tape. I've watched it, and I'm not sure if it's version 1 or version 2, but the only thing that's different with them is the previews for Hercules. That was the spine. Here's Miraculous by Entertainment Weekly. And the format logo at the bottom. A couple thumbnails, and if you want to read the description, you can pause right here. Here's the tape. Here's the tape with the sticker label. And the print date is October 6, 1996. Was released a few weeks before it got released in stores around Halloween of 96. I wasn't born yet, but yeah, I've watched this tape millions of times, and I watched it numerous of times. I just have it for sentimental reasons, but I did remember they've made millions of copies of it, and it had previews for Hercules. There's 2 different previews. There was also a preview for Bambi, Honey, I Shrunk Ourselves. There was a preview for ABC Saturday mornings when they used to do that back in the day. There was also a preview for... They also had a preview for 101 Dalmatians, the remake. Oh. And they also had a preview for... They also had a preview for the Toy Story Sega Genesis and Storybook game. Just to name a few. There's many openings on YouTube of it if you guys were interested to know what was on the tape. But overall, it's a really good tape. It sold millions of copies, and a rare thing that they had for the collectors back in the day was they had this box set where they had the making of Toy Story, which was a documentary that went beyond the movie and showed how it was made at the time because it was pre-DVD. And yeah, that's pretty rare. I'll put a link to the one guy's video for the physical media history of it because he goes way more in depth than I will. But yeah, Nothing much to say, but the 96 VHS, it was a pretty good release. They did have a Laserdisc edition, but those are pretty hard to come by and they're not cheap. But a pretty good release on its own. Now here's the 2000 Special Edition Gold Classic Edition, Collection Edition, which was released on January 11th of 2000, a month before I was born. And around the time Pixar became an animation studio, it was released a few months after Toy Story 2, and they kind of tied into the Toy Story 2 release when it got released on DVD and video around that time. And this VHS, it has slightly different previews. It has previews for Tarzan, Fantasia 2000. Has previews for an extremely goofy movie. It also has previews for Disney.com and maybe Dinosaur, which was released around that time, or was going to be released, I should say. That's all I can think of, but they do have YouTube videos where they will, explain that. And I know they had a few bonus features on there. They had a Tin Toy short film, the Tin Toy short film before the movie, and then they had the music video for You Got a Friend in Me with Randy Newman, and then and the Making a Toy Story abridged because they couldn't fit that whole documentary onto one tape. But yeah, it's not a bad tape on its own. It's good if you wanted to upgrade from this one. They do have some copies where it just has the special edition on the side without this on it. But I think that was released around 2002 because this tape went back into the Disney Vault around 2003, I think May 25th, 2003, if I'm not mistaken. And I think around that time they just reissued it for people who would be probably buying them, like schools, daycares, hospitals, or local businesses, and even libraries would be probably buying them so that they can show them in the classroom because they didn't convert to DVD around that time. And yeah, but it had the same previews, but it was just reprinted just to have this on it. But I'll show you the spine of it. Gold Classic Toy Story with Buzz Lightyear. And on the back says, "A wonder to behold by people." Pause if you want to read it. Here's the tape with the ink label, different ink label. And the print date is December 3rd, 2000, so this is a reprint. I would have been about 10 months old when this was printed. But yeah, they kept it in print till 2003. And then it went right back into the Disney Vault. And after that, that was pretty much the life of Toy Story on VHS. It was just these two. Not a huge difference between them, just slightly different previews. The one on the left had no bonus features, but the one on the right had some. And then they reissued it into a special edition around 2001 to about 2003 before it went into the vault, as I said. But that was kind of the life for how Toy Story was. They did have the Toy Story 2-pack and the Ultimate Toy Box, which the Ultimate Toy Box is a pretty hard DVD to find, and it isn't cheap either. I think on eBay it goes for about $50, more or less. And then I know the 2-pack's about $20, which I've seen them at many thrift stores in the Salt Lake area. I'm not sure if I will get it, but you may never know. The future will always change. But the Ultimate Toy Box, it was a pretty good thing for Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 1. If you wanted a lot of bonus features and stuff. I know for the longest time I had the 2001 DVD. When I was a kid, I watched the crap out of it to the point where it got super scratched up. But the DVD was pretty mid on its own. All it just had was the 10 toy short film. Sorry. But yeah, the 10 toy short film, it had it on there, and that was pretty much about it. But yeah, the Toy Story 2 pack is pretty much not an interesting release on its own. The only thing it was meant for just as a budget-friendly way just to have the movies, just to watch them, but nothing really else. But yeah, I did have a bootleg copy of it, which if I do find it, I'll show you guys. I can make into another video. But yeah, it was basically kind of a pirate copy of the 2000 DVD, the Gold Classic one. However, how interesting it was is it actually had the 10 toy short film, and then it had the full making documentary of Toy Story, which is on this one, but it's not abridged. And yeah, that was one thing that was really interesting about it. If I find it, I'll show you guys in another video. Just let me know in the comments below. Now, around September of 2005, they released the 2-disc special edition, 10th anniversary edition of Toy Story. And I always wanted to get this DVD as a kid, but it never happened. But I got this on eBay a few years ago just to have it for sentimental reasons. And it's a good set on its own. It's got a lot of bonus features and has the original Walt Disney Pictures logo, unlike these ones where they re-edited it, where they plastered it. I might get one that has a slipcase, but this is a good release on its own. A gift for all ages. The description: enhanced picture, new 5.1 surround. Here's a list of all the bonus features. And here's disc 1, which has the movie, which has Woody and Buzz. Here's disc 2, which has the bonus features with Potato Head, Ham, and the Green Alien. It's got this promo right here. Sorry, let me zoom out. There we go. It's got this promo right here, which just has a bunch of Toy Story gear at the time. Here's the DVD guide. Here's a letter from John Lasseter. A description of what you're getting into in this disc. The overview of the DVDs. Bonus features that are in depth on the discs. And the chapters. All in all, the 2010 anniversary edition is a solid release. I probably won't get the Ultimate Toy Box in the future because I'm pretty happy with this set right here for the DVD. Yeah, it's a good release on its own. And then here's the 2010 DVD edition. I bought this back in 2012 to replace my Gold Classic Edition DVD. And this was quite an upgrade from it. It's not as perfect as the 2010 release, but it's a pretty good DVD release on its own. Here's a spine with Woody. Oop. Here's a spine with Buzz Lightyear. And on the back says 2 thumbs up, way up for Toy Story by Siskel and Ebert. Here's a description. You can pause if you want to read it. Similar to the VHS. Here's the bonus features. Here's the DVD. And this was from the original DVD I had. I decided to keep the booklet, the chapter selection. But the 2010 DVD was a pretty good release. It wasn't as good as the 2005, like I said, but if you just wanted the movie and you didn't really care for all the bonus features, but you just wanted the DVD and you just wanted to buy it at your local Walmart or Target or wherever you could get DVDs at, it's a pretty good release. I know they still keep this in print even up to this day. They just reprint it. And yeah, it has pretty good bonus features. It doesn't have all the ones from the 2010, but it's got some new ones to promote Toy Story 3 at the time, and it has the new Disney logo, Disney Pixar logo, the CGI castle instead of the old Pixar castle. But other than that, it's not a bad DVD release on its own. And then here's the 2010 Blu-ray. Pretty much the same that's on the 2010 DVD. Okay, here's the 2010 DVD. It's solid and it's not the shiny one. And here's the Blu-ray, which this one's a really good set to it. They carried about a majority of them from the 2005 DVD onto the Blu-ray plus these. So if you wanted all the bonus features from both of them minus the games, this is pretty much the way to go. Would be with the Blu-ray. If you didn't mind the post CGI castle and all that stuff, if you had the Blu-ray, but you wanted the DVD that didn't edit the logo, I'd say maybe the 2-pack would be a good alternative, or the Gold Classic DVD if you could find them, or the 2001 DVD. If not, I was going to say if you just had DVD and you had no interest in getting the Blu-ray, I'd say if you have this, but you did want some of the other bonus features that were on this one, I'd say if you have these two, you're pretty much set. But yeah, I kind of just like having all the media, just because it's one of my all-time favorite movies and movies in general. But the Blu-ray is really good. They do have other releases too, like the 4K and the 3D Blu-ray. I probably won't get those because I'm pretty happy with these copies right here. Same with the 4K. And also, if I want to watch it in 4K, I got Disney Plus. But all in all, Toy Story is a good movie. That's all I could say. This was my comparison review. And hope you guys enjoy it. Like and subscribe. It keeps me going. And I want to grow my channel and make helpful content. And if you guys have a video suggestion, let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to see next. Or what I can make in the future. Anyway, Petrie Studios out.